I want to go back to Ben Johnson and the impact that he's already made on this team. If Johnson, by the way, throw this board up, because if he leads the Bears to their 4th straight win, Johnson will become the 4th coach in franchise history to win 4 of his first 6 games, joining George Halas, Patty Driscoll, and Mark Trestman. What has most impressed you about Johnson so far?
He's been a steady hand. There's an intensity to Ben Johnson, but there's a consistency to his intensity, and that matters a lot because the players in the locker room, it's one thing to get to know him during the offseason program and even in preseason when you're getting into some of those games. But to have that consistency to his demanding nature, to the details that he wants his roster attacking things with, we're really getting a sense now as the Bears are into the regular season, game number 6 on the way here later in the day, that Ben Johnson is able to be consistent with those expectations. And he doesn't necessarily ride that roller coaster with a lot of us on the outside looking in. He just wants to make sure his players are as focused as they need to be. And that showed up. You know, it showed up after the Detroit game where he was demanding and wanted his team to respond then. And I believe it showed up this week as well in making sure that there's a focus, a laser focus, even though they have won 3 games in a row and there's a 1-win team coming in here. And some of the storyline early in the week was about what were the announcers saying about the Bears during the last game. He is keeping this team as sharply focused on the next opponent that's here in New Orleans. And I think that's really one thing that's stood out to me most is that he's very consistent with his intensity while having a control about it.
Something else I want to bring up, because I'd be remiss if I didn't give his entire coaching staff credit for the 3-2 start. Listen, he brought in a stable of assistant coaches who brought great experience. Dennis Allen, 24 years, 15 with the Saints, almost 6 seasons as a head coach. Antoine Randall L. from Detroit. Richard Smith. This guy's coaching the linebackers, folks. He is the oldest assistant in the league, so he has seen everything out there, and all these assistants are contributing.
They are, and there's some versatility to the staff to varying degrees of experience that are there. Of course, Declan Doyle is one of the players as an assistant coach, as his offensive coordinator, who doesn't need to call the offense, but his youth and vigor are part of what combine well with Ben Johnson in setting the game plan and scouting the opponent for the week that is to come. And so there's a lot of that. There's some depth to this coaching staff and some versatility to it, and assistants that Dennis Allen knows really well and he trusts. And we're seeing versatility on each side of the football with the way they've attacked opponents. They've been able to manufacture a ground attack, and it was really impressive to see that coming out of the bye. And defensively, we're seeing them moving personnel around, and now that certain guys are getting healthy, we're looking at a better example of the way they're going to be able to attack the opposing offense.
Yeah, I was impressed with the adjustments made during the bye week. By the way, the Bears are the only team in the NFL right now to score 21 points in each of their first 5 games. Actually, the first team since 1995 to pull that off, and I don't think they've even scratched the surface yet in the Ben Johnson offense.
He continues to say that they'll be playing their best football in December and January. As we're watching this team build and grow and mature, not only at the quarterback position but around Caleb Williams, the evidence is beginning to mount in that direction because they've gone on this 3-game win streak while there are still very obvious ways that this offense can improve, that this defense can become more formidable. And so as they get healthy and as they just get a better and a deeper understanding of the schematics from a player perspective, but then also the play callers in each phase of this game have a better idea of what these players can do well. The idea of Shamar Turner moving out to defensive end, having T.J. Edwards in the lineup and moving Tremaine Edmonds more to the outside as a linebacker. There are small little wrinkles like that as this coaching staff gets a sense for the best positions to put their players in, that's going to matter so much, and it should pay dividends schematically once you get into December, and especially once you're deeper into divisional play.